Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Young at Heart, featuring nursery rhymes, stories, songs, poems, Mother Goose, Aesop's fables, Lewis Carroll, limericks, larks, stories of the great operas, and such, to keep us all young at heart, and that's the truth. I'm Father James DeLucio. You find me in a hotel in Anaheim, California, because I've just completed a week attending the National Conference for Ecumenism. And it was a very illuminating week. On next Tuesday's Luke Live, I will share some of those insights with you that I gained from the wisdom of Catholic clergy, Episcopal clergy, United Methodist clergy, Disciples of Christ clergy, Lutheran Church of America, the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America, Disciples of Christ, and others and such. But tonight we are going to continue telling the story of the singing bird. No, got it. The talking bird, the singing tree, and the golden water. Well, if you joined me last week, you can go back to get the details. But basically, a emperor and his beautiful wife, who came from poverty, but the emperor didn't care, had 3 children. But they don't know that they had 3 children because the emperor's wife had 2 wicked sisters, real sisters too, if you can imagine, and they're jealous that their youngest sister has married the emperor. And so when the first child is born, instead of saying he has not lived, they say your baby is a puppy and it's a disgrace to the kingdom. They take the child, a boy, put him in a basket, send him down the river. You've heard about sending children down the river before? Yes. Second child, it's another boy. You've given birth to a kitten. They say, another great scandal. Take the real baby, another boy, down the river. Third, I didn't tell you last time, is a little girl. Beautiful to behold, just as the boys were handsome to behold. Beautiful babies. Send this child in a basket down the river. And they say that you've given birth to a log. Somehow or other, the emperor believes this. The whole empire is in sadness and in mourning. The king, the emperor, wants to have his wife killed for this atrocity. How dare she? And the sisters are delighted. But the end result is, through the compassion of his vizier, his wife is simply put into a shack. She has to leave the royal palace and all those amenities, and into a shack right before the great mosque, and people are ordered to ridicule her, spew at her, call her names, everything, make her life miserable. Meanwhile, an officer of the emperor, the head chief officer, he and his wife longed for a child, and lo and behold, they get 3 children within the course of 2.5 years. 2 boys and a girl. They raise them as their own. They tell no one how they found them. They're very wealthy. The chief officer has a lot of great wealth from his employ, and his wife inherited a lot from some shah from some other foreign land. So they give the children every possible gift and the greatest education in all things: mathematics, science, arts, music, literature, and great physical agility, hunting, bows and arrows, and physical things of great, all of them. The girl as well. This is really an ancient story, but it's very advanced in terms of the treatment of this young girl. The mother, or the adopted mother, dies first. Then ultimately the father dies, but he doesn't die until the 3 have grown up. Now they're young adults. Of course, he leaves them his estate, which really is a tremendous castle, beautiful grounds. The children use all their education and all their knowledge to be the pillars of the community. They're generous with their servants. Everyone's well paid. When they go hunting, all three go hunting. They're all expert at hunting. They hunt for more than they need, so they give it to their servants and to the poor in their community. No one is wanting in this little section of the empire. All is wonderful until one day, the two boys, well, they're not boys anymore, the two young men go off hunting, as they usually do, and the sister hears that there's an elderly woman who's very wise, who has visited the village, and she insists that this woman come and pay a visit to her because she's always open to learn more things. She's a very wise young woman. So she does, and she gives them her tour of this great palace and the gardens and the grounds, and the woman is very impressed. However, at the end of it, she says, dear, this is practically perfect. Everything about you, everything about the castle and the estate, but there are 3 things in all the world that you are missing. What? Yes, I'm afraid to tell you, your household does not possess the talking bird, the singing tree, or the golden water. Well, how can I obtain this? Oh, it's very dangerous, and it's a very hard and arduous journey. Well, tell me about it. I don't know if I should tell you, says the woman, but please tell me. So she gives her the directions of the long journey. They should take provisions as whoever's going have to ride the horse, and then they will come finally at the end of a long day's journey to the base of a great cliff, and there will be an old man there who will give them further instructions. Well, the old woman leaves mysteriously. She's never heard from again, and our young woman decides, well, I'm not going to bring this up. We have everything we need. We have a beautiful life. All is well. But we humans, when we're introduced to something new, something wonderful, something that is allegedly will make us more complete, a new dryer, microwave oven, television set, well, in this case, a talking bird, a singing tree, and golden water, it just wreaks havoc on the brain. And we keep thinking, well, maybe I could get it. Maybe it just would be just the one thing that satisfy us all. So eventually, after weeks of dismissing this from her mind, she confesses this to her brothers, and they too are just enthralled at the possibility. And the oldest one says, I will go. Give me the instructions. And the sister says, no, please don't. It's supposed to be very dangerous. You can obtain these things, but the threat of losing your life, no, I will do it for you, dear sister. So off he goes, travels the whole day. He's finally weary, comes to the base of the cliff, and there's an old man who says, you're very brave, you're very strong, I've heard of your reputation, go home. No, of course not. That's more inspiration to keep on going, to keep his reputation up, to advance his esteem in the community. The man keeps repeatedly says, please don't, but finally our young adult is just so adamant. He says, all right, you have to go a little farther, and you're going to climb this cliff. It's very ragged, and you will find what you're looking for at the very pinnacle, the zenith, the top of this great mountain. We can't even see the zenith, it's so high. But beware, you must never look back to see how far you've come, or to look down and see the height beneath you. If you do, you shall die. Well, it was like, of course, that's not going to be difficult for me. So off he goes, but as he climbs, the spirits of all those who have died in trying to accomplish this task continue to call out to him, beware, beware, you've been lied to, there's nothing at the top, go back, look back, look and see, for you will see our graves are strewn throughout this mountain, don't go farther, look back, go back. So he gets quite high, keeping this all this taunting out of his mind, but ultimately he can't take it. And he does look back, and he sees all the skeletons, and frightens him, and he falls to his death. He's not coming home. So guess who else wants to try and go in search of his elder brother?